Happy New Year, everybody. Um, yeah, I'm back. Wobble Gob. Oh, Duncan, where's your head gone? Um, Suddenly realised when I was doing a bit of a review, I suppose when you start a new year off, you're thinking, oh, what's going on, what's going on? I realised that I never did any Wobble Gobs last year. I kept meaning to do them, but it just ended up being so busy that it was just absolutely crackers. So I've decided that this year I am going to reinstate Wobble Gob. Usually Wobble Gob Wednesdays, work desk Wobble Gob Wednesdays, the was, and just have a bit of a chunter to everybody really, and see how you are, what you're doing, show you what I've been doing, what I've been getting up to. Um, and just sewing for the soul. Sew for the soul, this is my big thing that I have sort of had as a bit of like my motto. I don't know, is motto the right word? I don't know what the right word is, but sewing for the soul and for the love of stitch. And I suppose it's just nice to feel like we're hopefully getting back to normal, some sort of normality. So I thought I'd just start wobble gobbing again. If you've not got up to date with where I am with everything, I've gone down to 2 days a week teaching at school now. So I'm just doing 2 days of A level, which is lovely. Absolutely loving that. And it's giving me more time to do this and sort of develop my own, develop and focus more on my own business, my accidental business. It was never intentional to do this. So I feel very lucky that this is what I'm doing. And that's the doorbell that's just gone off. So I'm just going to go and answer the door. Give me a second. Blooming typical, as you start chuntering away, somebody comes and knocks on the door. So anyway, where was I? Right, last year. So all sorts of things were going on last year. There was the tag roulette, which was great. Absolutely loved doing that. Was really happy to have used my tags, I think. They are just hung up just behind me over there. And yeah, that was really good. Really loved seeing everybody's work. So if you took part in that, absolutely fantastic. Loads of people discovered me last year and have done the scrolls and the books and the tags and tag roulette, which are all still on YouTube. So if you haven't had a go, please feel free to dip in. And then last year, successfully launched my Ko-fi page, which is a subscription channel. And this is a sort of where my business and my job is now, really. And we did flags and the stitching hour, which I absolutely loved that. This really just developed that idea of just sewing just because you liked sewing. So it was a 12-month project where each month we added different things onto a hoop and created these beautiful hoops. Some of them are absolutely outstanding. Beautiful colour combinations. It was just amazing to see how everybody would all follow the same instructions, but because we've got different materials and different threads and different colours, it was just an absolute wealth of stitchy yumminess. Absolutely gorgeous. So loved that last year. Like I say, there was the flags. I can't really show you the flags. They're all hung up here in front of me. But I think I've posted some pictures on Instagram and YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook. Of those. So those were really, really good projects. And then this year we're doing 52 stitches because I just love the stitching. So we've got 52 stitches project going on that's starting on Friday. And then Monday that's just gone, the stitching hour this year, we're doing a big quilt that's got 12 blocks. And we started that on Monday. It's not too late to join if you fancy joining them. They're over on my Ko-fi page, or if you go to my website, there's a link that takes you and you can find out lots and lots of information about all that. So that's all the stuff that's sort of going on behind the scenes with everything to do with that. Move this to one side now. Other stuff then, there were loads of workshops went on. It was great to start having people back in my shed. And I welcomed some fantastic tutors last year. I've got a lovely lineup this year. I think most of the workshops are just about full, but there are still a few places left on, and I've got 3 new workshops that I'm running next year. There's one that's a little paper book. There is one that is stitched vintage postcards and also monoprinting gardens. So quite excited. They're brand new workshops. They're at the shed. 2 of them at the shed. One of them's online. I know I've been asked about doing the other ones online, but it's just not so easy because of all the materials that you need. So you'll have to watch this space. We had a hanging workshop. I love this workshop. This just built on everything that I absolutely love. So this was my sample. It's not quite finished. But the thing that I always love about these is the fact that they can just keep on going. You can just keep adding. You get things, you see things. If you're having a bit of a clear out and you find some bits and pieces, you could just pop those on as well and just practice your stitching and just throw absolutely everything at it. So last year there was a lot of hand stitching went on. When I went to Knit and Stitch, there is Lynn Ladan, who does the most beautiful historical sort of prints and patterns for you to stitch on, and beautiful linen threads. And when we were there, I was there with my friend Jane and Liz, and we've got a little group of friends. We call ourselves the Sociopaths, and we all bought, or we bought everybody, one of her bags. So this is my bag. I think I'm the only one that's done my bag. So if any of you are listening, tut, come on, crack on. And I've just done a little bit of this each week. It was meant to be my whole winter project, but I ended up doing quite a bit. Did some when we went away at Christmas, done a little bit every week, just sticking with similar colours. So some bits are sort of like mirrored patterns. So they're all the same, but they're all different. Looking at different stitches, and it was just lovely, absolutely lovely to do. So I'm really, really pleased with how that turned out. So that's that. Let's just move me back out of the way, stick you in a jar. There you go. There was that going on. Then I joined a project with Fibre Arts Takes Two last year, which was Shelley Rhodes was the tutor. And I've wanted to do a workshop with Shelley for years, ever since I first discovered her work, but it just never married up that I could go on a workshop anyway. So she did an online one, so I had to go with that. And there was an online exhibition, and we had to photograph our work, and a selection of them got put into a book, and mine was one of the ones that was selected. So this is one of my trays that I did with all the work that we did with Shelley. It's still an ongoing project. I love the fact that you can dip in and out of it, which is really, really nice. And just like watching the videos and just spending a little bit of time on something that's a little bit different. I absolutely love that. So this book, you can get it on Blurb, and it's got examples. It's not got Shelley's work in it, but it's got examples of what people that have been doing the course have done. It's just running at the moment again, but I think they keep reopening enrolments. But it was just really nice, just a very different way of working. Not so much as in totally different from everything that I've done before, but I think just having a focus. And that's one of the things, after I'd done this, I realised that I've not really done anything that's like my own practice for so long. Because I've just loved doing all the stitching things, which I suppose you could say that is my own sort of practice now. To say that I started off working with collage and machine stitch, and I don't think I've touched my machine in goodness knows how long, but I think for my own, I suppose, I don't know what it is. There just felt like there was something that was missing. So Fibre Arts, they've got Donna Watson, who's doing a workshop masterclass now, it's called a project of self-discovery. And this is not a workshop where you are going to be taught a technique or anything. It's about exploring yourself and digging deep and thinking about you and the type of work that you want to make. And I just thought it'd be quite interesting just to see what's going on. So it only started this week. Already I've got really, really engrossed. So I've already started my sketchbook, which is about yourself. I started we've got to do a tree. So I've got a new sketchbook. You know me and sketchbooks. I absolutely love a sketchbook. So I'm going to be interested to see how that project goes on. But one of the things that I did want to do this year, I just thought, if I'm going to do the Wobble Gob, I'd like to be able to do something while I'm talking rather than just not doing anything while I'm not talking. So earlier on this year, Maria Thomas came and did a workshop with us, and we made, or I did, we were looking at collars and jackets and paper collage and stuff like this, and I made, it's not totally finished either, it's a little kimono, crack on, that we did, and we made collars and things like that to go with them, because I bought one of her collars at Knit and Stitch, and I really, really enjoyed that. And I have got lots of bits and pieces of clothing, I suppose, vintage clothing. I've got my granddad's old night dresses, and I've got the christening gown, that's our family christening gown, that's over 100 years old, and I never want to touch any of those. And I don't know where I've got these bits and pieces from, but I was having a rummage through one of my drawers, and I've got this lovely little cotton overdress. It's got little marks in it and stuff like this, and I sort of used to buy these bits for the fabric, but there were certain ones that weren't that damaged or anything like that, and just didn't feel like I wanted to cut up, and I've just kept them in a drawer. So I've decided this year I need to start doing something with them. So my Wobble Gob for this year, and it'll probably change as I'm going along, is I'm just going to show you what I've been doing, and you can stitch along if you fancy stitching along. So what I'm going to do with this one is just looking at some borrow techniques, some mending, because when I was at the Festival of Quilts, I bought a load of Japanese fabrics. They're absolutely delicious. They're really, really yummy. I didn't need any more fabric, but I just couldn't resist. Some of these were they're just gorgeous. So some of them are a little bit see-through, so they're slightly translucent. You can sort of see through them a little bit. Some of them are a little bit thicker. And then I've also got some tiny bits of fabric out of my scrap thing. This was a piece of fabric that I was sent, I think, from somebody in America, and I think I've only got a couple of bits left, and I absolutely love it. So I just think, rather than they're just piled up at the moment, and I just keep stroking them and putting them back. And I know that when we were doing all the tags and things, I kept saying, stop doing that, you've got to start using things. So the idea is I'm going to start using these, cutting them up, and I'm just going to start stitching them onto my little dress, and then I'll get a little hanger and I'll hang it up, and it can just hang in my studio or in the spare bedroom or something like that. So I'm going to make a start on that, and then when I do my Wobble Gob, I'll do a bit of an update of where I've got up to, show you what I've done. I'll probably sit and do some stitching while I'm chuntering away, and yeah, that's, I suppose, it. Workshops, online teaching, all sorts of different things this year, which I'm really, really excited about. So I just thought I'd reintroduce Wobble Gob for this year. Can't guarantee it'll be every week. I'm hoping it possibly will, but you never know, life changes, and it might be a very quick session or a bit longer. It depends on what I've got on that particular week. So hopefully I'll see you in episode 2. I'll have made a start on this, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'll probably end up posting stuff on my Instagram page and my Facebook page once I make a start. And yeah, I suppose that's it. It's Wednesday, it's wet, windy, not so warm. Oh, it's all Wednesday. It's wet, windy, not so warm. Yeah, from Yorkshire. So there we go, Wobble Gob. So I will see you in episode 2. Love, hugs, happy stitching. And yeah, that's it from me. Mwah! See you soon. Bye bye.